NFL.com says they have a 45% chance currently to make the playoffs. If they lose against Indy, it puts them down to a 29% chance to make the playoffs. The
Yeah.
Chiefs definitely aren't the same Chiefs that we've seen the past few seasons. Welcome back, Benchwarmers. The NFL never sleeps, and neither do the headlines.
We got a whole lot to unpack, so let's jump right in.
Feels good to be back here, man. All right, so we did talk about the NBA last time, but now we're
I
back
convinced
to.
you.
You did. I appreciate it. Honestly, it was really good. And it's easier to talk about the NBA when the Lakers are doing good because I care a little bit about it. So most times I just enjoy the NBA and wait for the playoffs. But because the Lakers have been looking pretty good, I decided to run with it. But that's not what we're here for. We're back for my favorite sport, actually, NFL football.
Yeah, and now that we're 2/3 of the way through the season, I think it's time to kind of start looking at the playoff picture a little bit, or maybe looking at some of the major headlines going in, because we are getting near the end here, and it's starting to be some questions about some teams.
Stop saying that. I don't like the end of the football season, man.
Hey, the Ducks are playing really well, so we'll have
That's
hockey
true.
season.
Okay, all right. Well, I also, dude, I spent, because it rained here and like crazy SoCal, I spent all weekend watching freaking football. I watched college football damn near all day on Saturday. I watched mostly every game on Sunday, and it was good. So football season is in full swing. But like you said, let's kind of get into some of the stuff. Before we get started, if you're not already, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss any one of the new episodes.
Also, if you could please do us a favor, if you like what you see here, please don't forget to slap that like button.
Come on, slap it for us. It's free. It's free for you. It's free for us. Helps out the channel a lot more than you can probably think.
Hell yeah.
So we'll start with.
Where do we start, man? Where do we start?
The only one that I was thinking was just because it's even Cam Ward, the number 1 overall pick, was overshadowed by this guy.
Yeah.
So we just have to start because it's obviously the most important thing. Sheduer Sanders is finally getting a nod as the starter in Cleveland. He came in and did some, backup work after Dylan Gabriel got hurt. That didn't look too great, bro. I think one of the first, if not the first play, he threw an interception. Granted, it's the Ravens, a division rival, and they sometimes have a good defense.
Lately,
but not this week, not this year. Jeez, it has not felt like it this year. So not a great start. What do you expect to see? Granted, they get to play the Raiders, so that's always nice. Even the Cowboys got to trounce on the Raiders.
Oh, and they play Monday night, so the Raiders have one less day to prepare, which not that it matters because it's, again, a rookie quarterback who's never done this.
So what are you expecting from Sheduer?
So I'm expecting this. He's going to come out on the first drive because usually the first, I think they say first 8 to 10 plays are scripted.
Scripted completely, yep.
They're going to come out and they're going to put him very comfortable in easy situations. They may not score a touchdown, maybe a field goal, but they'll get down the field and everyone will be like, hey, look at that. Sheduer knows what he's doing. And then they won't be scripted. And there'll be moments of like, ooh, okay. And then there'll be moments like, oh, that's not good. So I think it's going to be a lot of ups and downs. I think you said, playing the Raiders helps. Geno Smith, if he is in there, isn't really 100% at this point. And if it's not him, what the hell are the Raiders doing? And the only thing that's bad about it is Max Crosby's on the defensive line for the Raiders. So
yeah, not wrong.
Sheduer's going to have to be ready to run.
He is well known for hurting and tackling quarterbacks, and not hurting on purpose. I don't mean that.
Just
I'm not
he's
trying
that
to
good
shade
and that big
Max.
of a guy.
Exactly, he's just freaking crazy. In fact, one of the funniest things was when they had Patrick on the quarterback, the show on Netflix, and they weeks where they're playing the Raiders, and he talked about it a lot. He's like, this is the guy, bro. Like because he plays them twice a year, obviously, and that's not a knock on Bosa, Joey, from obviously back when he was in San Diego / LA. But
just when available and healthy.
I think that might be the point, right? I think that, and that's why Crosby kind of takes the cake, at least in the AFC West, who Mahomes faces. But so yeah, that might be a struggle. But I think Sheduer, I kind of agree with you. I think the first drive would look good, but I truly don't know what to expect from Sheduer, because a lot of times what we talk about when it comes to quarterbacks, and by we I mean the talking heads on television, and honestly, a lot of times it makes sense. Most of the time I hear it is from like a call-in. The guys who go to Bama, Ohio State, Michigan, and I'm not knocking JJ McCarthy or CJ Stroud or Mac Jones. I'm not knocking any of these guys, but they have not only the best coaching, the most money, the best offensive line, insane weapons. Those guys seem to struggle more when when into the NFL because you don't have that perfect situation all around you that
Yeah.
Nick Saban has nicely set up for you, or Ryan Day over in Ohio
Or
State,
you've
or
got
Jim
4
Harbaugh.
guys playing the same position in the depth chart, and they're all 5-star recruits. Like, that doesn't happen in the NFL.
It does not happen in the NFL. Now, all the NFL players are really good.
Yeah, of course.
However,
I mean,
you're going to have to
you gotta be.
exactly. You're going to have to drag some. So what I've seen a lot is the guys who go to Eastern Illinois, Wyoming, Texas Tech, Cal, right? The schools where, and those are all, that's Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh
Andrew Luck
Allen.
went to Stanford, and he was really good. And that Stanford's
Exactly.
not known for football, really, besides John Elway back in the 80s.
So when Colorado has just one player that we've heard of, and even people then are kind of questioning him now in Jacksonville, when Travis Hunter, all of that is to say they had no run game in Colorado. He's a really accurate passer, so it's not like all of his stats are from, or how about Louisville, Lamar Jackson. It's not like all of his stats are from running and from getting open. His stats are he sits in the pocket and he delivers it accurately. They didn't win a lot, right, in Colorado. He had his little wrist thing that he did with his watch. But it's hard to win when you're just the quarterback. So I say all that to say, I actually don't really know what I'm going to get out of Sheduer, but I think it might be better than what people think because of what he had to deal with or put up with in college. He played at an HBCU and then at Colorado against Pac-12 teams that, by the way, when he was there, the Pac-12 was in the championship game, or if not close to, with Oregon and Washington. So he's playing like top-notch teams. It's not like he's playing. So he's playing good teams.
Utah
not
was in the Pac-12, and they were pretty good in that time. That
Exactly. So I'll stop rambling. But in short, I'm confused because I don't really know. He has the history to show and a little bit of the talent that I've seen to show that he can be successful in the NFL. But with all of the negativity and stuff, and obviously an interception in your first game isn't great, but Peyton Manning started with a bunch of interceptions, and he's arguably one of the greatest.
Rookie most interceptions in a season.
Exactly. So it's not impossible to come from the depths and turn it on, but I think he is set up kind of well. The only thing that I'm concerned about is
he's on the Browns. Oh,
the what?
I would say he's on the Browns.
That basically, I was going to say the play calling and how the offense is going to be flowing. Are they going to setting him up correctly? Like those types of things. Yeah. What do you think about what I said there? Does that make sense?
No, it totally does. The only thing I'm with you. I just don't want too many expectations. I don't have a lot, but also, isn't he like the 45th starting quarterback for the Browns since they've come back to Cleveland? So it's like, I don't want to even put expectations on him because I don't really think it's all going to be his fault. I don't think that the Browns are very good at making quarterbacks get better and developing them. They've obviously shown a pass, and Stefanski's part of that. I mean, they brought in Flacco.
Sadly, right?
Yeah, I know. They brought in Flacco, but that's just an old guy filling in. That's not Watson. That didn't work. They've tried. And I love seeing the jersey with all the names added, so add Sanders to that this weekend. I just everyone's going to overreact regardless of how it goes. So just be expectations on Monday morning that everyone's going to be talking about Sheduer Sanders and the Browns against the Raiders when there's a lot of other matchups and things that are going on in the league that are probably more important, but that's going to catch our eyes. I also wonder, I'm assuming Deion Sanders is going to be there, right? Because he's not going to miss his son's first NFL start, and it is on a Sunday, and he doesn't coach on Sunday. So I got to anticipate he's going to be there. Does maybe that detract and make it a little bit too much extra pressure because Deion is on the field before maybe or for warm-ups? If I'm Deion,
don't do that, Deion.
If I'm Deion, I go up in the suite and I'm there. I get that, but don't make yourself as much of the headline as you need as it is already going to be. Just let Sheduer have his day. Hope it goes well, and maybe the Browns get lucky and can build something from here. I'm nervous for him, I guess, more than anything. I just don't know what to expect. So,
like when you were his coach, it was cool that you were on the side that you're the freaking coach of the team. You walk down the thing, but that's just nobody has their dad walk on the you know what I mean? So don't just. And I don't think Deion would. I do believe he really wants to give the light and the shine to his kids, even though he loves him some him. So,
but at least he's not LeVar Ball out there talking shit for Sheduer in the NFL when he's not even on in the organization. Like I know he's a former NFL player and great Hall of Famer. I'm not arguing that.
100%.
But he's not involved in the day-to-day of that team, so it's good that he's not. Well, he should have been starting 4 weeks ago, or like LeVar Ball did with all that crap back in the day. So I will give Deion that. Since he's gotten to the NFL, he's let him just. You do your thing. I'm over here coaching Colorado and taking care of health issues, obviously. But just I'm not going to try to get in your way of your NFL career, which I have to give him props because I was a little concerned that he was going to be too involved or say too much, or people would ask him so many questions that he'd have to answer it, and then it become a storyline on the side. But he's done a good job of just doing his thing and letting Sheduer do his thing. So I just hope for the best. I'm worried what the headlines are going to be Monday, depending on how bad it goes or how good it goes.
It's going to be leaning one way or the other. I doubt we see a neutral discussion about it. He seems to be a polarizing kid, even though he was drafted in the freaking 5th round or whatever it was. So I don't know why, but it is what it is. Last thing I'll say though before is to your point about the Browns. That is the biggest obstacle I believe that's in his way. They've only really had one decent quarterback that they've drafted in the past, 10, 15, 20 years that I could think of. And he only got really good when he left. That's Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, true.
He was good there. He led them to their first playoff. Then forever they won a game. He was on the ascent. They're just impatient, and he wasn't good enough. But he's
not necessarily impatience, more that they just don't have enough to make a quarterback good. Like they don't have enough all the things around him in order to create a positive option or opportunity for the quarterbacks.
Could be, but why get rid of him if and build around him? So. Right. We'll see. We'll see. Well, Browns. Okay. Browns. Yeah, Brown's going to Brown. You know how we say Clippers going to clip? Brown's going to Brown. You know what I mean? Another young quarterback, though, that is in the headlines lately. This one not because he's going to get his first start, but because he's going to stop starting. Michael Penix Jr. out for the season with what?
I think it was either ACL or MCL, I believe, because I think it was a knee issue. And I think he's already had one in the past, if not 2 of them. So that was the concern when he was getting drafted. Was he was an older guy, had been around for a long time because of injuries. What was it?
ACL.
Okay, that's what I thought. And like I said, I'm pretty sure he's torn, if not that one, the other one in his previous years.
That's why he had 7 years in college.
Exactly. So that was the concern. But now, if you're the Falcons, you're totally fucked because you're already losing games and not tanking on purpose, but essentially tanking because of the status of your roster. But you don't own your first round pick. You traded that to the Rams last year. So by losing games to hopefully fix the quarterback situation, which you thought you were doing with Penix, you can't do, because now you have Kirk Cousins going in there, and watch, Kirk's going to win, go 500 the rest of the season. At least they're going to split them all. He's going to put up decent numbers. And maybe Kirk. No, Kirk is old, and this is it. They're playing for nothing now in Atlanta, so they have to play him because they have no choice. There's talk of them, should they have traded before the deadline? So they're lucky they didn't now, I guess. But
true.
With no pick to solve the problem, because if Penix is out now, a year, right? ACL. So he's not playing next year either, because we're already in November.
Definitely not at the beginning of next year, 100%.
Yeah, maybe December into the last 2 weeks if they're like, we're out, go out there and see how you feel and if you can play it. But if that doesn't work out, I guess you hope next year is as bad, if not worse, because then you own your own pick the following year and you have to start this process all over. Either way, I don't know what Falcons fans are feeling, because that's kind of a shitty spot to be in.
Agree. And this is kind of the fact. I looked it up to see what his name is, and there's an article by Yardbarker talking about it. Atlanta Falcons urged to clean house and fire GM amidst abysmal roster construction. So his name is Terry Fontenot. And I just don't get how they got here, right? Yeah. You have a need at quarterback, and you say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to overpay for somebody who is solid, not great, but not bad, right? Yes. I mean, Minnesota has looked great. Honestly, Washington looked good, not great, but good with Kirk. Minnesota looked great with Kirk. He didn't look, but the team solid with him. And they're like, okay, we're going to pay that. We're going to give him $180 million. And then 2 weeks later, you said, we're also going to draft a quarterback by trading away our first round pick next year to move up in the draft and take Michael Penix 9th, I think it was.
Yeah, 8 or 9, somewhere in there.
And even, I think it was 8, actually, not to say it out loud. And I think that's where the confusing part is, because even Kirk was kind of confused at, wait, why did you pay me if you're drafting this person with the first overall pick? Who managed? What was Terry thinking?
Is it possible that because you do free agency before the draft in the NFL?
Correct.
Right? Okay, so what if they're on the phone with Kirk, right? They're trying to convince him to come here and, you have this opportunity. We have this, blah, blah, blah. And Kirk's like, oh, yeah, I'm in. Sounds great. Money's good. Let's do it. Yep. Then they go to do the physical, but they see things they don't like.
Now, he still passes, but not enough? Okay.
Is it something that they're like, okay, we could probably not pass him for this, but is it worth it? Because then it's going to create an issue with the Players Association and all that kind of shit. So they're like, I think we'll just take the chance. But also, we need to plan for the future in case it is what we think it might be down the line and have a backup plan. So maybe
I mean, I
that's what happened.
guess
I
it
don't know.
wasn't
But
Achilles,
no,
so
yeah, but I'm just that's why I think the sports should have the draft first. Like draft whatever you can to fill your needs. And then whatever you don't fill, that's what free agency's for. But for some reason we do it in reverse. I
mhm.
don't quite understand why we do it that way. I feel like it would make more sense the other way. So that again, that's just me thinking like timeline wise. Kirk was 35 already when they signed him. To. I was like he was a young kid. So it's like maybe they saw something, but it wasn't enough to raise a red flag and actually, void the contract or renegotiate, or they might think that was in bad faith and then it looks bad in the future to other free agents. I don't know if that had anything or if that's what happened, but for some reason that just kind of in my head makes the most sense of, again, why you said, why would you sign a guy for 180 million? He's the guy. And then 2 weeks later, we're going to draft somebody to replace him.
Yeah, and it's not one of those Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers,
Thank you. I was thinking the same
Jordan
thing.
Love situations. It's
Yes.
not one of those where you're like, okay, we're going to take a guy really early. He's going to sit on the bench for 2 years, maybe more, but at least maybe 2 years, kind of learn about this and kind of work him in. Two reasons why that doesn't work. One, you traded up for it. So you're not really just taking a guy to take a guy.
Correct.
And two, the guy you took is older than most of the people that are being drafted because he was in college for so long.
He's closer to the age of Kirk Cousins than he is all the other rookie class members. It just
something like that.
Because he played 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be a guy that played 3 years and he's out, and he played 6 or 7. So they're like 4 or 5 years apart. He's only 7 or 8 behind Kirk. Like it's not that far. I don't know. It's just weird.
Which is why it just doesn't make sense. So I don't know what they're doing. I actually like both of those players. I really like Kirk Cousins, especially after the quarterback show. And I seemingly like Michael Penix. I don't know a ton about him, but the little I have seen about him, especially when he was.
Yeah, there's been no bad press about him. It's just
no.
injuries.
Especially when he's progressing with Washington, he was like, I was kind of rooting for Washington, right? Because they were a Pac-12 team. Like, let's get these guys as far as possible.
Especially because that was the last year of the Pac-12. So we thought that'd be great if a Pac-12 team won the national title, and then it goes off into the sunset.
I mean, I am glad at who did win that year, so that's okay. Go blue. But I was rooting for the guy, so I kind of had an affinity towards him.
Yeah.
So I'm rooting for both of them. I want both of them to be successful. In fact, I was telling my wife at the beginning of the year that I was hoping that Michael Penix would either pan out or not pan out quickly, not by injury, but literally just by being able to understand whether or not he's good enough. So that way Kirk could go and get a starting job somewhere else, because I feel like he's still a starting caliber quarterback. He's better than some people are currently in their starting roles. I'm not saying he's a top 15.
Think of a healthy Kirk Cousins in Vegas right now.
Exactly. That's a fantastic example.
Situation than Geno Smith.
I totally agree. He's a smart player. He's got a couple before they traded him. Yeah. He had a couple of assets. Their offensive line is absolutely atrocious. I've been watching some film on why Ashton Genty has one of the worst rushing records, rushing campaigns as a rookie. And just looking at some of the plays, you're like, who's going to block that guy? Yeah.
He's watching Barkley back in New York. It's the same thing.
As soon as he has the ball, there's two people behind the line of scrimmage, and he's like, okay, now what?
What was that weird stat we looked up after Barkley left? It was like Barkley on an average running play, by the time he's handed the ball, there's already 3 defenders 2 yards into the back of into his area, behind the line of scrimmage. Like he has no chance. Like what's he supposed to do with that?
And that's exactly what Ashton Genty, not only as a rookie, but is doing it with a bad team. You just sell out for the run, bro. You don't even have to worry about Geno and whoever might be catching passes.
I'm saying Brock Bowers isn't playing. You have no weapons at this point. So
yeah, so they don't look good. But that's where I'm confused with this team, what Atlanta's going to do. And I like the coach, the guy from LA, the defensive. Yeah, I mean, I was rooting for this guy too. So now, you know what else I like? Arthur Blank and how he treats the fans with the cheap food in the state. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I have nothing against the Falcons, but this is just a weird situation. It's just weird. Why would you put all these quarterbacks in it? Yeah, I don't know.
And if Raheem, they want to fire the GM because he made all these decisions.
Not great.
I'm okay with that. But I'm with you. I don't think Raheem should get fired. I think they should give him another year, because none of the problems or issues are something that he has to do with. And the defense has been okay. It hasn't been terrible. They haven't given up 40 points a game. They haven't been super stout and not giving up more than 10.
No, but when your offense is has a time of possession of 20 minutes a game, and the defense is 40, exactly. Yeah, you're like, okay, well,
Yeah,
Give him a
so
break.
I hope Raheem is able to survive, but if they fire the GM and want a new regime up in the front office, I'm cool with that. I get it in Atlanta, but I think Raheem deserves one more chance because if you don't bring, obviously if Penix isn't healthy next year, we get that. If you don't bring Cousins back, who do you bring in? And then if it goes really bad from there, then I guess you have no choice but to fire Raheem. But I feel like this right now is not the time to do that. I think he deserves one more year after year, but not a Falcon fan. They don't call me.
All right, call Arthur. Let him know.
Wish I could. We'd be sponsored by Home Depot right here if that was the case.
Let's go. Well, talking about people who might be on the hot seat. As much as this team is struggling this year, nobody here is on the hot seat, obviously.
No, God.
But the Chiefs are 5-5 after losing a nail biter, last second field goal loss to the Broncos, who look great this season. But that was the game they needed. That was the game they needed to obviously avoid 5-5 and be 6-4.
Yeah.
And they couldn't pull it off. They barely lost, and it was on the road, so I'll give them all of those nice things. But it still didn't get it done. Oh, actually, last point. Drake London's also out basically for the rest of the year.
Okay.
That doesn't help Atlanta.
Just burn it up. Give the number 1 pick to the Rams. No, give the number 2 pick because Titans are getting number 1. Back
Okay,
up.
all right.
We only have 1 win. We shouldn't even have it. Stupid Cardinals. Thanks.
Hey, we suck. You're welcome.
God damn it.
Okay, so anyways, back to the Chiefs. Obviously, 5-5 is not looking good. Your question to me was basically, is the dynasty over? If they can squeeze out the 7 seed, which is not likely, but still possible, I would say never say never.
Yeah,
What say you
I'm
about this Chiefs dynasty and where they're at? Obviously, Andy Reid's not going anywhere.
No.
Brett Veach isn't going anywhere. Patrick Mahomes isn't going anywhere. Maybe Travis Kelce should retire.
Yeah, that's the one
but
for sure.
Nobody's really getting kicked out of this one. So it's just like one of those off
more
years.
of war of attrition for them at this point. They've played a lot of football, more than anybody else over the last 6 years. Travis Kelce, as you mentioned, looks old and slow. He has moments where he looks good, but it just overall consistently is not there. They're doubling Kelce, and then they're making everything go to Rashee Rice, and he's had moments too, but he's not been great.
He was out most of the season with that freaking suspension.
That's true. And then Xavier Worthy, they're taking him off the top. He can't get anything over there, so there's just not a whole lot of offense. Like, it's weird. Their biggest thing over this dynasty run is the offense is always there. The defense has kind of been up and down, mostly good, but the offense has always been there with Pat.
Steve Spagnuolo knows what's up.
Yeah, the offense just looks stagnant, and I feel like there's not a whole lot of spontaneity out of it like it used to be. That's just, I feel like a lot of
Andy Reid lost his edge?
I don't know if it's Andy Reid has lost his edge. I think, again, it's just the players, war of attrition. A lot of those guys have been there a long time for this run, and they're old and beat up, and just like basketball, you can only win 2, 3 in a row, and then people get injured. Like the Warriors,
football's even harder
in the final. I mean, Clay,
that's a good point.
Durant. I mean, it's just it's the unfortunate
Kawhi got
thing
his
of all
freaking
these
other
games.
ring that way. Yeah.
But I am with you. If they get in, I'm not counting them out, even if they're not going to host any playoff games this year.
I think they might have won a Super Bowl when they didn't host any games before.
Well, when they didn't host an AFC title game, I think they hosted maybe the first round.
The first one, right? Because they won their division. Yeah,
exactly. So that's not, and right now, not only losing to the Broncos last week hurts them because of that. Now they're 5-5. The Broncos are 9-2, and they already beat them. So they technically kind of have a 4.5 game lead over them with 6 or 7 to go. So the Broncos kind of have a chokehold unless they completely fall apart here in the last 6 or 7 weeks of the AFC West. So can the Chiefs sneak back into second above the Chargers and again get that wild card spot? I don't know, because the AFC East, you got 2 teams that are coming out, probably with Buffalo and New England.
Yeah.
So there's just not a lot of spots left. And maybe it's better they don't make it altogether, because if they get in and they get beat bad on the road, like, was it really worth it? Maybe they should just actually enjoy a real offseason and
come back
and try to figure out like Kelsey's like gets more, it's early, like, yo, dude, I'm done, I'm retiring, and it gives them more time to give the next step or whatever they're going to do to replace him. So I don't know, there's a lot of things going on in Kansas City, but the one, like you said, Reed's not going anywhere, Spagnuolo's not going anywhere, and Mahomes is
Brett Veach ain't going anywhere either, GM.
Yeah, so everything else can get figured out, and it's kind of what happened to New England too. Even they didn't, I mean, they might have made the playoffs and then
they had a little lull, and then they had to kick back up.
Yeah, they had the 3 and 4 years, and they kind of went down. Then they made the Super Bowl and lost, and then they went and lost, and then they're back. So like, the dynasty's not over as far as Mahomes' career overall yet, But then I think this version of the Chiefs dynasty is about to come to an end.
It's dwindling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, the NFL.com has them. They play the Colts this weekend.
Oh,
Not easy.
in Indy
Yeah.
or at Kansas City?
In Kansas City. So that's a little bit
Helps a
helpful.
little.
Yeah. Right now, NFL.com says they have a 45% chance currently to make the playoffs. They are trailing. The 7th seed is the Jags at 6-4.
Oh
Also, the
God.
Texans at 5-5 are ahead of them. I don't know why they're ahead of them.
It's got to be division records.
That's my
Texans are
guess.
3-2 in the division, and the Chiefs.
Yeah, because the division's
are
trash. They haven't won
worse.
one. Will it be the
Oh.
Raiders? That's it.
They're 1-2. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it is.
They lost to the Chargers.
Wow.
No. Yeah, lost to the Chargers and the Broncos. I feel like they might have even lost to more than that, but we'll see. So if they win this game, that only moves them up to 56%. Now that puts them above the 50%, but if they lose against Indy, it puts them down to a 29% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and weirdly, Jacksonville, even though only 6-4, has played pretty decent. So I wouldn't be shocked if they sneak in a wild card because you get 3 wild cards. So let's see right now: Patriots, Steelers, Colts.
Right now
Broncos.
it's Bills,
Those are the
Chargers,
4.
Jags.
Bills,
Chargers, Jags. 5, 6, 7.
Wow.
7-3, 7-4, 6-4.
Man. Don't count out the Ravens too, though. 5-5, only a game out behind the Steelers. That could get
Exactly.
interesting
They
as well,
actually
so.
have. They're currently a 70% chance to make the playoffs, even though they're the 10 seed, because of their ability to win their division. But the Chiefs are 4 games back of the division, not 1 like the Ravens are. Even if the Ravens lose this week against the Jets, which I doubt.
Yeah, they better.
They
not.
still have a 53% chance to make the playoffs, and a win puts them at 73% chance to make the playoffs. So, yeah, but that's only really division. I don't think. I mean, unless it really falls on hard times, I don't think they're running for the 7 seed. It really should come down to Texans, Chiefs, Jags, is my guess. Unless the Ravens or not unless the Chargers start slipping, but
yeah,
it's not looking good. That's for sure. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's over. Never say never kind of thing. But the Chiefs definitely aren't the same Chiefs that we've seen the past few seasons.
Yeah, it's hard not to just watching it. Even it literally reminds me of the Warriors run. Like the entire time they were good, crowds loud, exciting, they're fun to watch. And then as they kind of started, and you're like, oh, the magic's kind of gone. It kind of feels like that in Kansas City right now.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, since we're talking about the AFC and all these playoffs, let's just jump into playoff picture. We kind of talked about it already. Broncos, Patriots, Colts, Steelers is 1-4. Bills, Chargers, Jags are 5-7. We don't have to run through it all over again. We've given you the percentages of who can do what. But I want to ask you, what do you see as maybe like the AFC Championship game right now? Who do you see as, I guess, the top 2 teams? Now, obviously, depending on seeding, maybe they would play not in the thing. But in theory, give me your 2 best teams that you see making the AFC Championship game. I've already got mine, but we haven't written them down. So just run with it. Let me know what you got.
So my first thought when you asked me this question before we started, and I had to write it down, but again, so you don't know what I picked. My first pick was the Broncos. I think with Peyton there, he's won before. The defense is just killer. They're getting 4 or 5 sacks a game. It's out of control. The back end with Surtain, the second is great.
He's a beast.
And Nix and them on the offense haven't really had a lot of good games. They've won a lot of games and won possessions late. They're late. They kind of struggle through 2.5 quarters, and then that last of the third and the fourth, they just explode, and then it's over. Which again has a little bit of Kansas City feel back when they first started. They would always be trailing. Titans were up 14-0 in the AFC title game, and then the Chiefs just come back and win. That's just
Texans were up 24-0 in a
that's true
wild
too.
card game.
And both in Kansas City. Oh God.
Yeah.
So for some reason I've got Broncos. I just feel like this is their
That's
year.
a solid pick. I mean, not too much of a leap, but
no. Now
to make it to the championship, okay.
Yeah, my second one's a little bit of a leap here, only because of the record and where they're at. I think the Ravens are going to make it to the AFC title game. They're 5-5. They're a game behind the Steelers. Lamar's in and out, but he's figuring it out. I feel like their defense is getting a little bit better as we go throughout the season. And if they can just sneak past Pittsburgh and get that division, I don't know. I feel like maybe this is the year that everyone's like, the Ravens are beat up. They're too old. And that's the year that they're going to surprise everyone and make a run. Not necessarily to the Super Bowl, but, Harbaugh's won a Super Bowl and been there. So I kind of trust his coaching and preparation. I think it's going to be Broncos-Ravens in the AFC title game.
I like that. That's a really good pick. Those are solid picks.
If you win as weird as I did.
No, I don't think that's weird at all. I don't think that's weird at all because I have the Ravens.
Oh, okay.
Coming back to win the division, they're going to get home field for week one playoffs. Obviously, not week one.
Yeah. Wild card
Week
round.
one of the playoffs. Wild card round. They'll take a home win, and they're a team that wins in the playoffs. They just don't win AFC title games.
Correct.
But this isn't who's winning the AFC title game. This is who's making it to the AFC title game. So I'm actually kind of with you. That was the one that I thought was a solid one. I was kind of mad that you picked it. Not mad, but I was dang, I was hoping to be a
because
little
we
bit
didn't
different.
discuss it at all.
No, not zero. Yeah. So the one thing that I have is Ravens, but I'm trying to pull out. Where's my old bag of tricks?
Oh, no.
Where's my old favorite team?
Oh, yeah, there it is.
The Patriots. I think the Patriots, Mike Vrabel, and this is why I give him a little bit of a difference from the and I think you set me up perfectly for it from the Broncos, because the Broncos is a solid one. They have a tad bit of a better defense and a more seasoned coach. Correct. But it's not like Vrabel's never coached before. It's just that he's new to this team. And
took the Titans and Ryan Tannehill to the AFC title game. So
just saying. Now, granted, they had Derrick Henry, so let's not.
No, but
don't
before he took over, we weren't making the playoffs. He took over. We made the playoffs 3 years in a row, and 1 year almost took the Chiefs out to go to the. This is how close. Let me just rant. This is how close the Titans were to going to that Super Bowl that year. Tim and I drove up to San Francisco the night on Saturday. We went to the Warriors game because his family lives up there and has tickets through like a friend, and it was at Chase Center. I want to see Chase Center.
Oh, beautiful.
While we were at the game, his dad texted him, "Hey, my company's got tickets for the NFC title game tomorrow. Chiefs and Packers, Niners. Do you guys want to go?" And we're like, well, we're already here. We got to drive that direction to go home tomorrow. Great. So Tim and I leave. We go to the game. Well, the thing in San Francisco or Santa Clara, they have this theme park next to it that they use the parking lot for. Well, part of it is if you pay, I think it's like $50 a person, they have a huge buffet and it's all free. You can eat as much as you want prior to the game. For the 3 hours, they play the morning games. So we're sitting there and we're eating. Titans are up 7-0. Okay. Titans up 14-0. I look over to Tim. I say, Tim, if the Niners win today and the Titans win today, we're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to Miami. Like, just saying, we're flying to Miami. We're going to make it happen. He's like, I'm in. After about that third quarter.
How was that Miami trip?
Yeah, I told Tim after the third quarter, you know what? You have fun in Miami. I'm not going. Titans aren't going. So,
who won that Super Bowl? Oh yeah,
the
Titans. The
could have been Tannehill.
Yeah. So, anyways, I say that to say that Vrabel has the experience, and when you mentioned the way that the offense looks with Nix right now, I'm not blaming Nix. I'm just using him as the lead quarterback. I kind of see it as the opposite with Drake May. Drake May has that offense humming. It doesn't even really matter. I don't know anybody on that team. They have Kenyon Butte. Is like
the only one I know on offense.
Okay, yeah, off an ACL tear. How did he do last year in Houston? Right, but the name, I'll give it to you. He's good, and he's got the fire. Oh, bro, did he look good against Buffalo? Man, was he up for that game?
Always good to go back to your old team.
Yeah. So I just think that besides Travion Henderson, who is a big name out of Ohio State, but he wasn't looking good most of the season until he broke off for like 3 touchdowns in the past couple weeks. So I've got the Patriots playing the Ravens as well. Circa 2007.
It is kind of weird looking at the stands in the AFC. You're like Colts and Broncos,
Patriots. That's Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Yeah.
Tim Tebow back in Denver. What's happening?
Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah.
You know, it's crazy too. Thinking about New England, is it really Drake May, or is it just that Josh McDaniels only knows how to call offense when he's wearing New England Patriots gear? What is that? Oh,
I love it, bro. I love it.
Weirdest thing.
I love it. I think you're totally good. I think you're totally right. I think he's a fantastic offensive coordinator. As long as he has the right quarterback who can understand what he's trying to do. And that's what I think failed him as a head coach, is that he never had a fucking Tom Brady as his head coach. I'm not knocking anybody. I forgot. I know he was a Raiders head coach. Was it Derek Carr? No offense, Derek Carr.
Yeah, probably at that time. It had to have been Derek Carr.
So he's a decent quarterback, right? But he's no freaking Tom Brady or even what Drake May is starting to look like. So I kind of have the Patriots kind of running with it. They seem to be having a top seed, obviously only behind Denver. So they should be at home for most of it as well. That should help the rookie, right, quarterback playing in your home stadium instead of being on the jungle on the road. But so that's who I've got. I think I'm surprised we both came up with the Ravens, but they're just starting to look good. And if Lamar can be healthy, again, they don't make it to the Super Bowl, but they do make it to title games.
They do that a lot. All right, so let's move to the NFC now.
Okay, switch it up.
We both got the Ravens. You got Pats.
This one I think we might be on the same on. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to go first this time? Since I
Sure.
went first last time.
I'm
All
the
right.
NFC. I'm the NFC guy. So this one,
Actually, you go first, and then I'm just going to confirm if I agree with you or not.
yeah, I think you will. I think you will. It's kind of an easy one. I feel weird being this kind of a layup because honestly, there's some pretty good teams. Bucks, Seahawks. I mean, the whole NFC West is pretty
Dude.
stacked. The freaking Niners are a 7 seed right now at 7-4.
Wow.
So if they, I mean, and they're only one game back of the 8-2. Well, I guess 1.5 game, because
Yeah.
the bye week and stuff. So I mean, they could literally catch up to even win the division. I don't know if they will with just Mac Jones and whoever else he's dragging along on the
Actually, I
injury
think
report.
Purdy might be coming
Purdy's back?
back soon. Yeah.
Okay. But the teams that I have facing each other in the NFC title game, I'm just going to say both.
Go for it.
Eagles, Rams.
Yep. I knew it.
They're too good, bro. Both teams
They
are
are.
really, really good, bro. They're just well coached, very talented on both sides of the ball, disciplined, experienced, whatever other fun adjectives you can throw out there that are pro football,
Yeah.
adjectives. So, Eagles, Rams, prove me wrong, kind of thing. I really had the Bucks up there most of the season. They've
Yeah.
granted, their freaking injuries are
Yeah.
really stacking up, dude. Missing your number 1 wide receiver, your number 2 wide receiver, your number 3 wide receiver is in and out of the lineup.
Your
Backup running
backs
backs,
in and out.
yeah, linemen in and out, defense in and out. Baker's getting banged up. So I was running with the Bucks for a while, but they're just kind of running out of steam a little bit. I don't think the Bears are up there. Seahawks could, honestly, they could give people a run for their money, but them losing to
I
the
don't trust
Rams
Sam
last
Darnold.
week, yeah, them losing to the Rams last week, Sam Darnold looked terrible. I
You
just
can't
don't
beat
see
McVay.
it.
That's what it is.
It is, but the sucky part is McVay doesn't seem to beat Shanahan. So if they
That's true.
get each other somehow, maybe they're not in it. You know what I mean?
Although
So
McVay has had the last call, I should say, the last time they played in a playoff game against him. So whatever
okay.
that is.
All right. So playoff then. But it doesn't seem to ever happen in the regular season. The freaking Niners just seem to kind of own them.
Yeah.
But so those are the two teams I've got. Add what I missed.
No, that's pretty much it. I think these are the two best teams in the NFC. They have been the last couple of years. I think last year's divisional round essentially was the NFC title game because the Commanders had no chance the next week.
Seriously,
thing
totally
I think
agree.
of is, the thing I think of is the Rams have to have home field in order to not guarantee a win, but it'll be so much easier at home, regardless of weather, even if it's not snowing. Like
Talking about against Philly.
Yeah, just in Philly is hard, but they've already lost to Philly because of the blocked field goal and shit. So now they don't have the tiebreaker, so they can't end with the same record as Philly. They have to be one above them in order to get that tiebreaker. And right now, because they have the same record, so it's. But I feel good about the matchup. I think they're going to be the two best teams when it's all said and done at the end of the year in this conference, and they're going to be on a warpath to each other. It's just a matter of who has home field. And do the Eagles have enough to win back-to-back conferences, or again, war of attrition? They've been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 or 6 years as well, only winning 1. But does that war of attrition, add up for Jalen Hurts and all those guys at this point? I don't know. There's a lot of questions there, but I do agree with you completely. Eagles, Rams, no doubt in my mind.
Top 2 teams. And honestly, I'm not going to lie. Go pull it up. NFC talk. Corey and I have been talking about Eagles and Rams since freaking July. So,
and I also said the Bears were going to be pretty good, just saying they're in first place.
You did. You know what? I gave you so much crap about Detroit. I'll give you the props for Chicago. My friend Sam is not going to like to hear that as a huge Packers fan, part owner. You know how they could buy it, not real part owner, but part owner.
I take it.
Exactly. So she's not going to like that, but you know what? They started losing to the Panthers. Now the Panthers look good, but losing to the Panthers, the Browns. These are a Super Bowl aspiring team. You don't lose to the Browns and the Panthers when you're in the NFC North. You don't have time. You're playing good teams, bro. So get it together. I'm actually still rooting for the Packers, but they just kind of fell off a cliff. Is Jordan Love not it? I know this is completely changing the subject line.
No, you're good. I don't think it's not that he's not. I don't know. It's weird. Like they're really good at home compared to.
It's not LaFleur.
No, definitely not LaFleur.
Okay.
I don't even know if it's Love though. Is it just that they don't have enough weapons for him? Like Aaron, who's there? Is it Jones that's running back right? No, Jones.
Josh Jacobs, who's hurt now,
and
by the way.
Christian Watson, who's always hurt, and I know they drafted
Romeo Dobbs, but he's a
Golden's
rookie, and he's small for a receiver.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the weapons that are not quite. And then the tight end that had that great game 2 weeks ago, he's out for the year.
Out for the season.
So I think when they're healthy, like they were the first couple weeks, they looked great. But yeah, now the injuries have piled up. They're just not as good as I think we expected. And hey, props on Chicago Bears taking advantage and getting.
You're right. You right. You right.
Got to keep throwing it out there. I'm not always.
No argument there. No argument there. So, well, NFL wrap up. Again, catching up on what are we going into week 12?
This is week 12.
This is week 12, right? Yeah.
Man, crazy.
Slow down. Let us know down in the comments below how you think Sheduer Sanders is going to do this weekend in Vegas.
And also hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok at RVUFTB and tell us who you got in the conference championship games. Are we crazy for picking the Ravens? Maybe.
Nah.
And thanks for everybody for stopping by.
And same things from RV from the bench. Remember, nobody loves you. Jesus loves you. Peace.
This was a Sycamore Fourth Studios production.